Hey guys, you're about to watch the last part of the interview I did with Tim Larkin. We talk about violence and how the mafia uses violence. Tim is an expert on violence and self-defense, and I really enjoyed talking to him. I hope you enjoy the video.
Behind it, and you run your business correctly, but then it seemed, and again, you're the person that knows this, but it seems from everything that I've read that he just lost interest in the original part of the business, and he was just very, very focused on the business side of things. Were leaders like they'd go either side? You'd have guys probably that were too violent or too aggressive in some areas, and then other guys that would go far to the other side and not take care of things down the line and stuff. How do you balance that? Like, how did you guys balance that?
Well, you have to balance that. See, Carlo Gambino balanced that one of the best. You have to be both, or you have to understand there's both type of people. There's two forms of gangsters. One's a racketeer, smart, he's business-minded, he's a tremendous money maker, he's a racketeer. There's a gangster who's more thuggerish, more of a thug, kill you, he's more dangerous. They're two different things. And I'm going to give you another story with Castellano. One day he said, that's what we have, a racketeer and a gangster. Very rare is someone both, a racketeer and a gangster.
Right.
He said, we're fortunate, we have one. And he pointed it on the table to me. He says, Sammy the Bull. He's both a gangster and a racketeer. But let me get back to the thing is that Castellano was a racketeer, was a brilliant business guy and very smart. I mean, he gave orders to kill people, so he's dangerous. Right. I mean, but that's really where he focused. Making money with other families, he would do things and swap money. The Bread Association, he gave it to the Colombo family to have good relationships, plus they were doing money things.
Right.
So we resented that. Why would you give the Colombo family that association? This guy here, bro, he did work for us, every fucking thing, he's that broke. Why don't you let him run the fucking association? He's not stupid. He could run it and make the money, but he started thinking strictly for himself, his own pocket, and too much of being a racketeer. I was extremely close with Frankie the Chico. There's a lot of stories about it. And he was more of a thug and a gangster. Gambled a lot. I was powerful with the construction. I got a guy and I was opening up a container business where they bring the containers and they take away the construction debris. So I had told Frankie, I said, bro, I'm going to put this together. The guy who's running is a good guy. My end, what I'm going to get 50%. I'm going to cut it up 3 ways. The boss a third, you a third, and me a third. And you have some power in construction. We'll help this company grow. We'll make a few dollars. Oh, thank you, Sammy. I appreciate that. All right. Then I went to Paul and told him, I got this guy and I'm going to do it and I'm going to cut it up 3 ways, Paul. What else? You, of course, me, and Frankie the Chico. He said, no, Sammy, you got a good idea. It's a great idea. He said, but Frankie's a thug, straight up thug. We'll do it, me and you, 50-50. I couldn't believe my ears. I'm bringing you a third. You have nothing to do with this fucking business. We wasn't happy with that. So I said, oh, okay, we'll do it. So I went back and I told the guy, I said, no, listen, I'm not going to go into that business. I had second thoughts, I don't want to do it. And I went to Frankie, and I told Frankie, I said, listen, this happened. I'm not going to do the thing. I'm just not going to do it no more. He said, no, do it. That's how he is, bro. Don't worry about it. I got a couple things going. Don't worry about it. But that gives you an example how he lost touch with the reality of the street.
Right.
Frankie's a fucking tough guy. Yeah. He's not a hill. He's a mountain of a man. What the fuck do you care if he's got a third and I got a third? It's not even coming out of your pocket. I brought it. Yeah. It's coming out of my pocket. And that's what I think his downfall was.
Yeah.
And because I thought he was the best thing since sliced bread when I met him and I got made under him. I thought he was fair. I thought everything was great, and he was very, very smart. But there's gangsters in their life. I'll give you another. Let me give you this one because you're gonna love this. We're in the house, a whole bunch of us. Roy DeMeo, and Roy DeMeo, the guy who became a serial killer, real tough bastard.
Yeah.
And Paul is talking to us. And he says, you know who the real tough guys are? Every guy on that table is a stone cold killer.
Right.
Yeah, who's the tough guys? He said the cops. They get called on a domestic violence, they go run in the house and do this and do that. That's true. But you're a boss, and you're talking to a whole table full of fucking killers who are in the mafia. We don't want to hear how tough a cop is or whatever. We don't want to hear that shit. I'm sure a bunch of cops don't want to hear. You want to know who, the best cop in the world?
Exactly.
It's Sammy the Bull. They're not going to want to hear that shit.
Right.
So anyway, we get up, and we're leaving. And Paul's right behind the whole pack of us, and we're going towards his door. Roy DeMeo says, pretty loud, clearly, next time he wants somebody dead, he should go call a cop. When we left, yeah. So that's the point of him lost touch of reality. I mean, these are the guys you got sitting at the table. That's a perfect answer. I mean, he should have never said it that loud. But I guess Paul was not a gangster. What was he going to say?
So a guy like DeMeo, like when do you finally realize you go, okay, this guy is uncontrollable, or he's going to be a real problem for us? Like, what does it
Roy DeMeo was a very smart guy too. He was selling cars, having cars robbed, putting them in containers and selling them, high-end cars, shipping them to Kuwait. They were buying them right off they got off the ship. A Mercedes, they'd take 10,000 off, they would sell it right in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
No paperwork, no changing. He had a great scheme. Louis Melito was with me and Tato, and I was an acting captain. I met Roy DeMeo's captain, and I wanted to know about the scam and see if we can do it as well, if it didn't bother him, and he could maybe hook us up with his connections and stuff. So we went to a meeting. It was in a Greek diner. The guys knew me there. I said, listen, I'm going to meet with a couple of people. Give me a table somewhere. Sammy, I got a back room. There's a bunch of senior citizens. I can put you at a table over there. It's cool. All right, that's good. So we go back there. 30, 40 senior citizens, 60, 70, 80, maybe even 90, some of them, all old people. So we're having this conversation about the cars, and I see he's drifted away. He's not even paying attention. Nino's talking, Louis talking, and I see he drifted away. I said, what's up, bro? And this is, it's boring, these conversations. You probably, no, Sammy, it's I hear it. You know what I'm thinking? Look at these people. Yeah? He says, if I had 2 9mm, I could kill all of them before they even know what the fuck was going on. I said, probably half of them would drop dead as soon as you start shooting, really.
Yeah.
They're so old. But who the fuck thinks of this?
Yeah.
So I said, all right, listen, Louis, we got to go. I got another meeting. Me and Nino, we'll hook together at another time. I shake his hand. Roy, I'll see you, this and that and the other thing. Louis gets up. I said, did you hear what he said to me? About killing the people? The old people? Yeah. Yeah. Bro, he lost it. He's sick. We got to pay attention to this guy. We go to meetings, everything we do with him. Who sits there fascinating and thinking about killing 40 fucking senior citizens for no fucking reason at all?
Right.
Bro, this guy is gone. I think he's completely gone. Something happened in his brain. We got to be very careful when we do business with him, when we deal with him. Really, we want to watch our stuff. Don't just take that conversation like, yeah, that was great. No. Normal people don't think like that, bro. Right. I may be a killer, but I'm still normal. Right. Normal. I didn't cross that fucking line, thank God. But, and eventually people knew what he was. He did 1 million stories, and they killed him.
Yeah.
We killed them. Not me personally, but our family killed them.
Right.
That's what you do with them. There's no curing them. There's no nothing. Same thing with a pedophile or a serial killer. But they lost it. And there's one thing, you know, they need a meeting with God, and I'm going to make the arrangements.
No, there's really no ifs, ands, or buts with that, man.
Yeah. You got to go. It's time to go.
What do you think? What do you think about the current?
Where the fuck do you get gloves with these fucking hands?
I know.
Look at the size of your hand. Your hand is bigger than my foot.
I know. Cracks me up.
I said, this guy, forget about it.
Where do you see like the current crop of criminals coming up as far as these kids that you're seeing in gangs? Not Cosa Nostra. Cosa Nostra, you said, is getting a lot smarter in how they're doing things. The current group.
Yes, they are.
But you know what my people are worried about. They're seeing like what happened in the the last year and a half. This riots, people just getting in there, gang members. You know, you got MS-13. You got some really brutal people out there that are hitting legit citizens. It doesn't look like there's going to be a response from government anytime soon that's going to take care of this. I've never had so many inquiries for people. People want to buy guns. They want to do everything. People that never thought of doing stuff like this before. You know, there's definitely a change, but you kind of saw the mentality of these kids that are in there, that are coming in from these gangs and stuff like that. And I'm sure you talked about it. It seems like it's very different from the crop of criminals that came up under your time.
Absolutely. And even when I came up, I mean, there was a lot of really rough people. But I'm not afraid of these kids. And none of them. I'm not just saying I'm not afraid of them to talk like a tough guy. What I'm afraid of is the politicians that are allowing that to happen. Right. The people who don't want to back cops. The people that are making laws that let them out like a revolving door. Yeah. I can't stop them. Maybe you alone can't stop them. Politicians and laws and people we put in office could stop it. Yeah. If we can't stop them, if we can't control the people we put in or get them the fuck out because we're a Democrat or a Republican or a conservative or a liberal, we still have, that's all bullshit. White, black, Spanish, Asian. The whole country as a country, we're having this problem, and I'm not afraid of them. You shouldn't be afraid of them. Some of them have tough times. Maybe they could be talked to or taught or changed. But if they allow this to happen, I'm afraid of them. Yeah. Them. I'm deathly afraid of them. Not for me personally, but for my daughter, my grandchildren. I'm terrified. Yeah. You're allowing this. I can't go around shooting them all. You can't. You can't stop it. I can't stop it. You could. That's why we put you there. Yeah. And if you're not going to do that, and we're not going to change that environment, our kids and our grandchildren are, I don't know, the way it looks now, they're in for a tough, tough time.
Yeah, there's a vacuum. There's definitely going to be a vacuum filled. You're going to see vigilantes. I'm sure you're going to see more of that type of behavior.
Absolutely.
The stuff that I'm seeing right now, just amongst the communities that I know, it's crazy. And like I said, there seems to be a fear to just step in and just somebody saying, "Hey, this is right. This is wrong." You know, we want you to have your freedoms, but we're not going to tolerate this. And that was what was interesting. You know, I found sometimes criminal organizations actually have better, I don't even know if code of ethics is the right way of saying it.
Control?
But control.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, if you have somebody go off the rails like Roy did, you're going to take care of that problem.
Right.
And stuff. I don't see any of that happening at the government level.
No, and they're the biggest problem of it. I mean, even gangs, a lot of these kids, and I hate like some of these reporters, what do we do? I mean, like people, recidivism. Yeah. What do? They come out, they commit another crime. You don't do shit. That's your problem, and that's why.
Yeah.
They come out, you're a convicted felon, you can't buy a gun, you can't vote, you can't be a doctor, you can't be a lawyer, you can't be a college professor. I mean,
Right.
how many doors do you want to close in their face? And some of them are not idiots. Maybe they made 10, 15,000 a week dealing drugs
Right.
or anything else. So you want this guy to come out, or woman, and you want to go flip hamburgers for $10, $12 an hour.
Right.
And then you want to ask me what's going on with the recidivism rate? There's no opportunities. You're closing doors in their face.
Yeah.
So forget about getting rid of cops. Keep that going, but put money into things that you can reform people, starting when they're in the prisons. They don't reform. They got programs that look good, sound good. They said, Sammy, go to this class. It's an educational class. It'll look good. Maybe you'll get out a little early or something. I ain't getting out early. And but I said, I'll go to the class. We'll have some fun. There was a woman, a big fat ass woman, who's the teacher. She comes in, starts the class at 12 o'clock. No, at 12 o'clock. It's lunchtime.
Right.
So the mess hall is open. So we go to eat. All right, we'll be back at 1. Okay. We go to eat. She runs her fat ass in there and grabs a tray. So she's eating for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 1 o'clock, we go back in. And we're in the class. She asks 10 questions. At 1:30, 1:45. All right, it's time to go. Tomorrow's lesson, fuck out of here. I didn't learn nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't learn. I don't even know what I'm sitting in there for. So what time are you going to be here tomorrow? Lunchtime? We'll see you lunchtime.
Yeah.
It was bullshit.
Las Vegas did a thing at the jails where they started actually teaching guys everything from, like, if you qualified, for the program, you have to qualify for them, but they taught them everything from like yoga, meditation, anger control type stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then also family skill sets, like how to cook healthy food, how to do this,
Right.
how to do, stuff that a lot of these guys, and the goal was that listen, Vegas has no illusions, but the one thing I do like about it is they say this all the time. They go, hey, we learned a long time ago, we're not going to arrest our way out of this situation. We can arrest these people all they want, but it's not going to change anything. We have
Right.
to do something within here to
Prison reform.
Yeah, you got to do something.
Yeah, there's programs you could start, like you're saying, like that, to humanize them.
Exactly.
And then say, when you get out, why not teach a person how to be a fucking carpenter or an electrician or a plumber? They're going to make a good salary their whole life.
Yeah.
You want to teach some fucking dingbat like me to get a Harvard degree?
Yeah.
I couldn't graduate 8th grade. Now you want to send me to college? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
But maybe I could be a plumber or a carpenter or something,
skill set,
or
yeah.
a business guy, or open up a candy store or a liquor store. But you shut all those doors in our face, and you're not doing anything for the people who are in there.
Yeah.
And some of the sentences are so ridiculous. I mean, it's crazy. Some of them are so excessive. My crime I faced, they talked to the judge once. The ecstasy case, they talked to the judge. They said, well, what do you think, the prosecutors and my lawyers, that he faces now if he took a plea? Anywhere between 5 and 7 years. The prosecutor walked away. No, we're not offering him a plea. They wouldn't do it. And when I did cop out, it was basically for a lot of different reasons. They were going to hang my son. They were going to do all kinds of weird shit. So I took a plea and took all the weight. And the guidelines, the low was 12, the high end was 15. They sentenced my son and everybody, my son-in-law and everybody in the case. And then they went for an upward departure. And I got 20. So they conned me into a 12 to 15,
Right.
and then went for an upward departure. And I got 20. But I guess there was nothing I could do, and that's life.
Yeah. Well, I like what you've done. I mean, you've come out, like, the one thing that I appreciate is that your spirit hasn't been broken. You're
No.
you're still out. You're doing. You don't make any bones about your past. You know, you're
No, I don't.
you're very upfront about it. But you're sharing some good information. You know, and I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me. This is a different departure from the type of interviews I normally do.
Right.
But I wanted to talk to you mainly because, you know, people look at protecting themselves in such a strange way. They see it in a very one-on-one kind of conflict. And you come from an organization that you guys were the alpha predators, and you understand what real violence is and how you use real violence.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
it's not the way the common person thinks of it, you know?
No, it's not. It's not. And it's, you know, and this was a great conversation. I really appreciate I'm really comfortable. Now, I'm looking at your pockets. I'm going to see if you want to give me some money or this. I'm going to be a racketeer again.
We're going to get you in there. It's so great.
Listen, I really had a great time, and I appreciate it. And I'm trying to stay straight, do the right thing. I don't dictate to kids or people or anything like that. I try to be an example. You want to be me? Go to jail. Go ahead. You want to really be me? Look what the fuck I'm doing here, bro. I'm making money. You could stay out of prison, enjoy your life.
Right.
Don't give them all them years of your life in prison. No, you're not going to like it, bro. Get up in the morning, go eat, go to bed, go to sleep, go do this and go do that. You're not going to like it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things you can do in life. There's a lot of ways of making money. College isn't the biggest thing in the world.
No.
It's important for some kids, but the trade, so many different things you can do. And some of you guys that are young, before you get in trouble, you want to fight, you're a tough guy, go join the fucking Army,
Exactly.
Marines. Go be a soldier, be a patriot. Listen, when I get sick now, I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
I can go to the VA for no fucking money and go get taken care of. And I do go to the VA on occasion, and a lot of people complain. They take tremendous care of me.
That's great.
And I have a tremendous relationship with the people that I go. I hear these stories. Thank God I never bunk into that.
Yeah.
I bunk into real. Thank you for your service. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. And so there's a lot of benefits from the military. You can get VA loans to buy a house. You can get VA loans to go to school. There's a million things you could do. So if you're starting off life and you got a little balls and you're a little tough guy, go join the service. Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, go do it. And you'll be surprised. I did it for 2 years. I didn't want to go. I got drafted.
Right.
I didn't think I was going to last 2 minutes. I lasted 2 years. I got to love it. I got to get out of a car while we're driving, while they're playing taps, and standing there. And I never thought I would be doing it with my hand up, saluting and honoring dead veterans. I feel it when those 15 kids just got killed in Vietnam and Afghanistan and stuff like that. You saw them a week or two before grabbing kids, picking them up and taking them. Do something with your life. Show you're a real tough guy. Do that. It's a tough guy. My father never did a crime in his life, but he was a tough guy. He worked his ass off to take care of us, my sisters, kids, rest of the family, helped everybody. That's a tough guy. You don't have to be physically a tough guy. You don't have to be a killer. A killer is when we're on the bottom of the barrel. You do that, it happens, and you do it when you go in the military. You don't even want to kill there, but you do it. There's the enemy. You're doing it for the government. I did it for Cosa Nostra. Cops do it. On occasion, they should, and we can't look at cops. There's a couple of bad cops. The guy who put his knee on the guy's neck, as soon as I saw that, he's dead. That kid is, this cop is finished. So there's a couple of bad apples in everything. We got Roy DeMeo. Everybody's got bad apples. But most of the people in all of these groups are good people. There's bad apples. But don't get one bad apple and smear everybody with it. You know, it doesn't work like that. It don't work like that.
Yeah, you just correct the problem and you keep the organization going. Hey, well, Sammy, I really appreciate you taking the time, man. This has been great.
I appreciate it.
And hope we can do it again.
Yes. I doubt it, but
Probably
we'll
not.
see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the last part of the interview I did with Tim. Tim has put together a free masterclass for you guys. I can't express how important it is to be prepared for violence in this world. It could happen at any time, any place, anywhere. This isn't a sales pitch. This is about real life. Click the link below and check it out. You're going to be glad you did. Adios.